If you've just bought your One X2, this video is going to give you 25 tips to help you get started setting up your camera. So let's get straight to it. The first thing you need to do is charge your battery. So if you're new to 360, this first tip is going to help you protect your camera whilst you're charging. The camera's lenses are really vulnerable as they protrude either side of the camera. So never lay your camera down on a hard surface and don't risk leaving it stood up whilst charging. Lay it down onto the neoprene case that it came with, or ideally buy a lens protector like this. Simply plug the USB cable into the socket here under this small door and plug the other end into an iPhone plug or a USB breakout box like this. The charging port door can be easily removed by pulling it gently like this, and then replace it by locating the small plastic piece into the hole and pushing it gently, and put it somewhere safe because it can easily be lost. Once the battery is charged, remove the battery by squeezing the battery lock buckles with your finger and thumb, and the battery will spring up. Now you can put a memory card in the memory card slot, which is hidden away in here. When you insert the memory card, make sure the label is facing outward towards the touchscreen. To replace the battery, push it firmly in place until it clicks and ensure that you can't see the yellow tabs. This indicates that the battery is locked and it is sealed, so it remains waterproof. The power function button here turns the camera on with a single quick press, and a long press on the power button for 2 seconds will turn it off. The on-screen display disappears if you're not using it after 4 seconds, but it's easy to bring back simply by tapping the screen. Also, after a while, the camera screen goes into standby sleep mode, which turns the screen off completely. But you can easily get it back by pressing the on button once. And if you ever want to turn the screen off, you can do this by using the same button. So just press it once and the screen will go off. You can access all of the functions on the camera using the touchscreen. Swipe down from the top to access the system modes, and swipe right from the left of the screen to access the media gallery for playback. Swipe left from the right of the screen to adjust the camera settings and enter into manual camera mode or back into auto mode. And swipe up from the bottom of the screen to open the shortcut menu to change from photo mode to video mode or to time-lapse mode. To fine-tune the mode you're in and make changes to the frame rate, the resolution, or to set a timer for the camera, you can select here. To change the type of video mode or photo mode you're in, you can click on the actual icon itself and it will bring up additional video options or photo options. The screen sleep mode is set to something like 30 seconds by default, which is a bit annoying because the screen just feels like it's going off all the time. But this is really easy to change in the menu. Swipe down to access the system menu and then swipe across to settings. Scroll down to screen auto sleep and you can change the timer here. And if you don't want it to go off at all whilst you're recording, you can also change that here as well. Your camera also by default will turn itself off completely after about 3 minutes. But again, you can change that time here in the system menu. So swipe down to access the system menu, swipe to the last page and click on the cog icon and go into general, and then down to auto power off, and you can change it to turn off the camera from 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, or never. I probably wouldn't use the never setting in case you accidentally leave your camera on for too long, but I would set it to 5 minutes or 15 minutes, whatever you prefer. So the next thing you'll want to do is format your memory card. So swipe down to access the system menu. Slide across to the cog icon and then scroll down to SD card and select format. There are a couple of other things you may want to change in the system menu, and one of them is the prompt sound. So the sound the camera makes when it turns on and when you touch the buttons. And I find the noise that it makes quite annoying, but that's just a personal thing. So swipe down again to access the system menu, swipe to the last page and click on the cog icon, and then go into general and then down to prompt sound and select off. You may also want to use quick capture, and you can do that by swiping down to access the system menu and then selecting this icon here. With quick capture, when the camera is off and you press the shutter record button, which is here, the camera will turn on and start recording straight away, and when you press stop, it will then stop recording and then power down. With quick capture mode, the camera will remember the last video recording mode that you were using when you last used the camera. So if you're using 5.7K at 30 frames per second, then that is the record mode that it will start up in when you use quick capture mode. You can also use voice control, which you can turn on here in the system menu. by selecting this icon. And with this icon selected, you can then start recording on your 1x2 by using voice command. So you can say start recording, stop recording, or take a photo. The other thing you should do in the system menu is change the record codec to H.265. This is a much better codec, more efficient, and gives you better images. Swipe down to get to the system menu and then swipe across to the cog icon and select it. Now scroll down to video encoding, select this and then change the codec to H.265 for both 360 and for Steadicam mode. And we'll talk about Steadicam mode next. When you see this icon here, the camera is going to record with both lenses in 360 mode, so you will see everything around you. You can also record in standard video mode by pushing here, and then you'll see this 150-degree icon come up. This is also referred to as Steadicam mode, standard video mode, or single lens recording mode. And it basically records like an ordinary video camera from one lens. And if you want to record in 9x16 mode for social media, you can select this icon here whilst you're in the single lens mode. You can switch between the front and the rear lenses by selecting this icon here. In 360 mode, you are simply switching which lens you are monitoring, but in the 150-degree mode you are selecting which lens you are recording. When using the 1x2 in water, lock the touchscreen by going here in the menu to avoid accidental button pushes. And when the touchscreen is locked, you can then use the power button as a mode button to help you switch between photo mode and video mode by simply pressing it. If you've bought the 1x2 as an upgrade to your 1x and you still want to use your lanyard, then you can unpopper it here and simply popper it on to your new pouch that comes with the 1x2. If you ever see the camera drifting like this in your videos, then the gyro needs calibrating. So stand the camera on a flat surface, ideally with the lens cap on in case it falls over, or stand it on a small tripod. Swipe down to access the system menu, and then swipe to the last page and click on the cog icon. Go into general and then down to calibrate gyro. If at any point your camera freezes, then to reset it you need to hold down the on button for between 7 and 20 seconds. To start using the app with your camera, download the Insta360 app to your phone, select the camera icon, and then the app will start to prompt you with what to do next. If this is the first time using the app with the camera, then it may ask you to update the app or to update the camera or both, but it will guide you through how to do this, and it's really simple. And the first time you connect your camera to the app, you have to accept the connection by selecting the record button on the front of the camera. It's important to know that when the app is open, it locks you out of the LCD screen on the camera, and it will come up with this message saying that the app is previewing. But if you close the app, you can then use the camera LCD screen again. This video is part of my 1x2 Beginners Tips playlist, and I've got a lot of videos coming up soon on shooting and editing tips, so please consider subscribing and hitting the bell so you're told straight away when they're uploaded. My name's Rich, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.